Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, March 7, 2023. Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Senator Aubin Hill, is asserting that the government is invested in supporting small farmers as part of its commitment to building the cannabis industry in Jamaica. He gave the assurance yesterday during a press conference called to address the concerns of local ganja farmers upset that a license has been granted to a company to import Canadian cannabis into Jamaica. The minister says the only import authorization that has been utilized by the company, Cannaviva Jamaica Limited, is for a strain of cannabis that is not in Jamaica called Tranquil Elephantizer. The company applied for and was granted the necessary permits by the Cannabis Licensing Authority, CLA, and brought in 44 pounds of this particular strain, which it uses in 5 of its branches, amounting to less than 9 pounds at each location. Addressing questions about the process, Senator Hill points out that as minister, he cannot interfere in the decisions of the CLA. But stressing that he understands the concerns being expressed, the minister says he will be meeting with stakeholders to get their input in ensuring government's policy better serves the local cannabis industry.
All the people in the business, I want to hear from them. So we hear and understand.
The minister is also moving up plans for a trade mission to Canada, which will now take place between May and June to discuss, among other things, issues surrounding the exportation of medical cannabis. In the meantime, 2 interventions will be taken to Cabinet for approval in April to provide local small farmers with greater support so they can benefit from the medical cannabis industry. The first is the Alternative Development Program 2.0, under which up to 10 acres of land will be cultivated in targeted communities for the medical cannabis industry. A minimum of 16 communities and about 128 farmers will be targeted as part of the initiative over the next 4 years.
Each participating community will be required to sell output to a licensed person who has a license from the CLA.
Minister Hill, who made the announcement during Monday's press conference, says funding has been identified to begin the project in the upcoming 2023-24 fiscal year. There is also the Cultivators Transitional Special Permit and Pilot Project. This will utilize a mother farm, satellite farm approach, in which a licensed cannabis cultivator or processor enters into an agreement with a small-scale or traditional farmer to cultivate the crop and sell it to the licensee or mother farm. This, he says, will allow small-scale and traditional farmers to participate in the regulated framework with less rigid requirements. It will also help them to build the required capacity and accumulate the financial resources necessary to make an application to the CLA for a cannabis license.
Because many of the small farmers find the initial fee to be high, $2,500 US dollars, you have to put up fence and all that stuff. We're finding ways to make sure we alleviate some of those problems for the small and traditional farmers.
Under the pilot project, 5 mother farms will be targeted to work with 4 satellite farms each. In other news, government is seeking special treatment from host countries for creatives and cultural professionals traveling abroad. Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, Olivia Grange, made the plea to diplomats during a ministerial briefing last week. She emphasized that the ability of artists to travel to countries and ply their trade was fundamental to the growth and development of Jamaica's culture and entertainment sectors.
I would like to seek the support of developed countries by requesting that there be established maybe a 2-year moratorium during which travel of artists, cultural professionals, and practitioners to Europe may be facilitated through preferential instruments and systems.
The briefing was part of Diplomatic Week 2023 activities from February 27 to March 3. Minister Grange pointed to Article 16 of the 2005 UNESCO Convention, which states that developed countries shall facilitate cultural exchanges with developing countries. This allows preferential treatment to artists, other cultural professionals and practitioners, as well as cultural goods and services from developing countries. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade says it continues to advocate for special visas, including touring visas for entertainers, to be accommodated by the European market. Portfolio Minister Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith says that under the Economic Partnership Agreement with the European Union, the ministry continues to be engaged in bilateral meetings where the matter is raised.
What they have been saying is that they're changing the method by which everybody applies for their visa to simplify to an online process that will work better for everyone. We hear that, and we welcome that. But we are still advocating for accommodation by these special visas, the touring visas, that we had been promised from 2019 and have not manifested.
The Foreign Affairs Minister was providing an update during the Standing Finance Committee's review of the 2023-24 estimates of expenditure in the House of Representatives. She says the ministry is building advocates in partner countries to take Jamaica's side on these issues when they are among their EU partners. Minister Johnson Smith is also expected to visit the Home Affairs Commission of the EU in Brussels this year to discuss further matters under the Economic Partnership Agreement. And finally, 147 Jamaicans are the latest to complete the Restorative Justice Facilitators Training Program. They join the pool of mediators who are helping to change the culture of crime and violence to one where individuals seek to work out their differences. The program is being facilitated by the Ministry of Justice.
If we can get quarreling, fighting people, settling their difference, it will prevent a lot of criminality, a lot of crimes. And we are now spending in excess of 400 million for legal aid fees. I would like to cut that in half and shift it back to people settling their conflicts.
In lauding the work of the Restorative Justice Program, Minister Chuck says more measures will be taken to increase awareness of the program across the island.
So I determined that not only will we take it into the schools, but now I've had a memorandum of understanding with all the church leaders, over 13 of them, that we are going to take it into the churches.
Restorative Justice is a component of the ministry's Alternative Dispute Resolution Program. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.